Well, coming to the end of the second season for Blakes7, we have 2 episodes before the very last one, which I will do a video on one episode. I usually do 2, but that one's going to be special. So we have Gambit and the Keeper. So Gambit, the things about Blakes7 is probably in some cases even more than Doctor Who. They just wouldn't spend the money on it. Even though it lasted longer than they intended, apparently. I think it was only supposed to run for 3 seasons or something like that, and then they managed to get a 4th one out of it. But despite all that, it trudges along and gives you great concepts. And as I've said often, a rather dark story, especially in comparison to Doctor Who, you know. So with Gambit, they come to basically they go to Space Vegas, only far more corrupt and dangerous. And space cowboys are there as well. Even Travis is sporting a cowboy hat, as he has become basically a gun for hire for this mysterious character that they're looking for. Well, it's a surgeon who is of the craft of cybernetic parts, which comes in handy, get it, for Travis, you know, because he no longer has the arm he was born with. And he's hiding out in this, criminal area out of the influence of the Federation. So, of course, Blake's looking for the guys. Now, why would Blake have any interest in the guy? Well, he knows where Star 1 is. And Star 1, Blake had already tried to destroy the control and discovered that was all, a trick and all that sort of stuff. And now he's looking for the real heart of the Federation and their main control point. And that's Star 1. And but he doesn't know where it is. And so he's seeking out the surgeon. So meanwhile, Avon and Villa decide to use Aurak, their supercomputer, to cheat the house at the casino. Now, the casino is ruled over by this strange guy who wears these costumes from, I don't know, is it Renaissance period, I guess, or maybe a little later. But anyway, that's the outfit, because, it's like everybody's in costume, basically. People are dressing like cowboys, other people dressing like they are, and he's all done. I'm assuming it's makeup. They don't really refer too much about alien creatures so much. That look any different in this series as this mutated humans and whatnot. But so yeah, he just paints his face silver. But there's also these chess games that they put them to, and if you don't win, you die, and they all laugh about it and everything. It's a really nasty place. But Villa's able, with of course Avon being the real brains of the operation, is able to cheat this, and they win a lot of money. I don't know what they're going to end up doing with it, but they got it. And so it's sort of a comical bit here. But the guy's a serious villain, and he's trying to outdo Servalon and whatnot. So you got that going on, and they managed to play this out, in with the drama and whatnot. With not a whole lot of action. Eventually there's a confrontation with Travis and Blake briefly, but then once again they have to realize they have a common enemy in Serverland, because she manages to implant an explosive in Travis's arm, and ultimately the server tells them, you've got to find the Keeper. They'll tell you how to find Star 1. And so it wasn't all for nothing. But even with the small set, they kept it within the set, and that sort of thing, so you get more control of it, and it's cheaper to do. It works out, and there's a lot of interesting sort of surrealistic looks, because the guy uses his makeup mirror as a monitor to communicate with people. He Skypes, I guess, with or Zooms, if you were there, with Serverland and stuff like that. So you know, so it has its fun moments in it. So it's not that it's not too bad in the sense that you know, the production just didn't have the budget for it, but nevertheless works out. And it's constantly the backstabbing nature of the universe of Blake7, how it goes, and nobody is untainted by it. And so it's just another example of that as you go through it. And so some colorful characters, if you will. So and plus the guy playing the mysterious cyber doctor, well, you might recognize him from Shada if you got to see the full series. You know, that because it was the lost Doctor Who episode, but they brought it back with animation and stuff. Yeah, he's an important character in there. Yeah, you ought to know who that is. Anyway, so following that, of course, they got to go find the Keeper. Well, this time they go to a planet of Vikings. So they go there, they immediately get captured, and they kind of split up. Blake is able to escape, but he's got to go back and all this. But, of course, Jenna's so beautiful and hot that the leader of this tribe of space Vikings wants to marry her and stuff, but he's all messed up, and the reason he knew the cyber surgeon is because he had to repair him. They did some surgery on him. There's a scar on his forehead, and he was in some pain from it and whatnot. He knows Travis and all this sort of thing, but he's clearly deeply mentally unbalanced, and he's battling. He has a brother who shows up, and they're fighting over who's the true ruler of the tribe. Meanwhile, a woman who really could have passed as their mother, but she's their sister, and she's got, I don't know, sorcery powers of some sort. I guess she's like an empath or what have you, because she does seem to have a bit of clairvoyance here. But she outsmarts them all, and she's manipulating them all to get control of it. But they later they discover that none of them are the keepers. They don't hold the print that they're looking for, this medallion or amulet that has it, and it ends up being the two rival Vikings, if you will. Their father, who's stuck in a dungeon and is completely insane and babbling and whatnot, and then dies. As Blake figures it out that the print's already gone, they managed to decipher the location, but Travis had gotten to it first and outfoxed Serverland and stole her ship and split. Oh yeah, he had to steal her ship because his ship got destroyed by Avon, who thought he had the drop on him, but he just had the drop on his ship because Travis had already left. So anyway, he's got it, but turns out there was another catch to all of this, that you didn't really need the print that was on the amulet or not. There was an activating term for this other man who was he was the court jester, if you will, or the fool. And clearly something was wrong with his brain as well. But when you said the right terminology, which the dying man passed on to Blake, and he didn't quite understand, but he said it out loud, and it worked. It activated his programming, and he revealed the coordinates for Star 1. So there you go. Blake and crew are all set to go there, and we will get to Star 1 next time, which is a pivotal moment in the saga of Blake7, as it takes just on the side of it, a bizarre turn. Of course, there were reasons behind the scenes as to why this happened, and there was different ways they could have gone, but it's also an interesting element that, had it actually been something planned out where you could have had certain characters be recurring characters rather than regular ones, might have played out even better. But, it happened the way it did. So, anyway, we're off to Star 1 in the next review of Blake7. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com, and you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.